my channel. I'm Liam. Round 9, trade talk. There's a lot of options this round. There are so many. There's a few rookies that are being asked to pick. They're being picked, and there's a whole lot of players around 500 to 800 that just you could pick any of them, and they certainly will benefit your team. So hopefully I can give you at least some insight into all these players, and hope they're beneficial for your teams. So the 1 to 200k rookies, there's no real any of them I would be wanting to target. Sproul at worst if you absolutely need the cash, but certainly none of them. There's so many more better options. The 2 or 3 that if you don't have Collier Dawkins, I would look for him. If you don't have Burns, or if you don't have Poulter, those 3 are my main 3 targets. Just beware of possible job security with Collier Dawkins at Richmond. They do like to, with their newer players, give them a fair bit of rest throughout the season. But that's probably his only downside. He's got the role to average that 65, 70. So he's my number 1. Second, I don't mind, even though he did play North, Poulter with a mid-forward status gives you that flexibility. I love flexibility. That's my one. It's probably I've overdone it this year, but flexibility is very key. And with buys coming up, being able to switch up and down the lines are very handy. So Poulter is my second pick. I'm half looking at him this week. I'm just working out other plans, but Poulter and Burns is the other one. Is more of a, he actually might get the mid-forward role later on the season, so watch for that. But he's got a nice little role at Saints, so I feel like his job security is pretty solid as well. And yeah, I'd certainly be looking. Certainly don't want to trade him in. If you need a mid option, but if you're wanting Poulter or Burns, I think because Collingwood's just going to play the young bloods from now on. I feel like, but they have chucked out Rantil and McRae in the past weeks, so you don't really know what's going on. But I would probably go Poulter just for the mid-forward status. But if you want a mid, your forwards are solid, you're happy with your structure, there's nothing against bringing Burns. Pryor's an interesting one, and it's probably too late now, but he's someone we've slightly missed. Frederick, I probably wouldn't touch him now, 100k in, and got that 28. Unlucky if you brought him in after his first round, because it probably was the right decision, but unlucky with him being subbed and then subbed in. I've seen a few captains to his name, but in the last couple of weeks, last week with the loop of either Taranto or Merritt, which would be a bit disappointing. I feel sorry for you. There's no one really else downgrades you want to target. Campbell was the one I missed early in 2 weeks ago. I went Tilthorpe over him. I got an 88 last week, but there's no one here that I'd be half interested in at all. Looking at this 500k bracket now, one name to mention, we talked him a little bit in the pre-season. James Harms is back from injury. Got a nice little role at Melbourne, 500k. I see him averaging that 90 odd, probably not a top 6, but if you're desperate to upgrade someone there, he's certainly a option at 515. Has a nice little role in the mid forward, so, and could get DPP. Probably might get defender mid, but still handy. Still handy as well. But he's certainly an option I probably won't look into because my defenders is fairly locked in. But certainly, if you're needing a defender and don't have much cash, it's certainly an option. There's probably no one else I would like to target in this bracket. Daniel is he doubled his score in the last quarter, but he's bottomed out to 570. And if you asked me at the start of the season, if he was 570, 95% of people would have picked him. So he's another option, bottoming out from his 15 the first week. But again, if there's if you need a defender, I would probably go to a higher bracket. And my first option would certainly be Aaron Hall. He is a must-up, I believe. I know everyone's is injury worry, is injury possible, but his role at the moment is insane, and I see him being a top 6 defender along with a top 6 forward. So certainly an option. Certainly, definitely an option to look into. And even he's gone up 58k. He's going to make truckloads in the next few weeks. So if you didn't pick him up last week, certainly pick him up this week. Very handy for the buyers and very handy for your end of teams. I see him going 110 with the role he has, and even 120 if the sky's the limit. Anyone else? Sloan does look good. 100 price at 645, not 648 actually. Again, I probably want to target more of the higher mids, but if you scrap for cash, he's certainly an option in the midfield. I wouldn't be against it. Bolton is another one. Richmond just don't seem to have many high scorers, but he 103. He got still got 80. Got the second top score with 85 last week, and they got smashed. Averaging 103 in the last 3. It's certainly an option, but I would prefer Josh Kelly over him. With Whitfield back, just looks more comfortable, and GWS look better. So he's pretty much bottomed out. He is an option for me this week as well. He's, along with Hall, his injury, what worries me. Every time I see he gets popular, he gets injured. So it might not happen this year, but just something to be aware of. But 680 for a player of his quality is certainly someone I'd be looking to target. There's no real others I would be looking for in any other position. It's pretty much Hall if you don't have him, and then if you don't, possibly some of these. Parrish is showing up lately. He's 124 average over the last 3. Doesn't include that big 150. Beware of that, but certainly an option. Mills is going to be a top 6. Someone we've missed. I went Ridley over him, which has cost me a lot over the last few weeks. He's definitely an option. His role's there. A defender playing midfield is someone you want in your team, just like Laird. They're must-haves for the end of year. Mitchell looks to be picking up form. 40k down off his first starting price. Certainly an option, along with Gaff, who had a slow start to the season. Bontempelli with Dunkley out seems to be hitting his straps. But out of those mids, probably Mitchell would be number 1 target. In defence, any Salem, Doherty, Lloyd this is where you probably want to target him at 750. Though any of those 3 defenders are going to be top 10, even probably more top 6 to 8 defenders. Lloyd is pretty much bottomed his price. He's still averaging 100 for the year. 107 his last 3. Sydney's slowing down a little bit. Ball's going to be more in defence. He is an option that not many people will realise because he's so far down the list. He's certainly an option to be bringing in. I probably wouldn't there's still, I probably wouldn't overly touch any others. But in the bigger price bracket, Duncan looks a top 5 along with McRae, Merritt. Taranto's an option. McCluggage is an option. Oh, he's 785, but he's another one of those options which seem to be top 8 mids for the year. Miller, I just wouldn't touch him because he's just a little bit of the unknown. Certainly wouldn't advise against doing it, but just a little bit of unknown. He's gone up 80k. You're paying a little bit more than what you want. You could get a Guthrie for 40k cheaper. Could get a Steele for 40k cheaper. Lions, any of those are very, very good players. I would, if any of them, depending on your buy structure, look to have at most 3 in the same buy. That would be my recommendation. So if you've got 3, then they're pretty much going to score fairly similar. So buy structure is a key attribute that I look to master. Max of 2 in defence, 3 in mid, and 2 in the forward line. Of premiums, that is. Rookies is a different state of mind because you'll probably be trading them throughout. So they don't overly have high importance. With trade outs, this is mine. There's probably some other rookies that I might miss, but Berry, Rowe, Robertson, Goulden's probably my number 1 out if you haven't already. Just slowing down from his start, and he will just keep going down. So Goulden's probably number 1. I'm stuck between probably Berry because the mid spot is probably more valuable than a forward spot in Rowe, but I wouldn't mind trading any of them out. Robertson, I just like his role. He seems to be not scoring the best for his role, so I might just hold him a little longer. Don't worry about Ridley. He's just going to be nice and cheap for some of you guys later on. Highmore, I'm a bit worried that he's spent so long that he should be traded. Might become a handy loop like Sharp. I'm just using them as loops at this very stage, same as Tracy. But and Flynn is a big talking point. I feel like he plays at least 1 or 2 in the next 5, so he'll probably be traded out once he gets to about 450 to 500k is my aim for him. So my early thoughts is probably a double down with Goulden and Berry to Poulter and Burns. So that's my early thoughts. But I do have the cash to go up to someone that I like. So I'm still thinking who I would go on that because there are so many options. But I'll talk about that on my preview on Thursday. Good luck with your trades. Leave any questions below. And I'm very pleased to get to 50 subs. So thank you, guys. And if you aren't subscribed, it'd be a pleasure if you could do that. So till Thursday, catch ya.